intro music is so good. Like,
as the kids say.
Put it back on.
It has so much Riz.
Like, we got Boris House. He says, "Put it back on. We got to do it up again one more time."
Riz? What's Riz? What's Riz?
I don't know.
French for rice. That has
you want to hear you want to hear the intro one more time?
Yeah, man. Fire it up. Let's go.
That just goes. It's
so
good.
Fun fact about that is I think we have two intros because at one point
retweet your tweet.
Because at one point we had another song lined up, and then Zach gave us that one, and it ruled. The other one is this.
Back to the other one.
It's too hard. It's too hard for this type of
shit. I'm all mad.
Especially at the time of the day that we normally go at. Like, who wants to hear that at 9 a.m. in the morning?
That's true. Maybe we use that when we preview the Nick Gage Invitational.
Yes,
it's usually a deathmatch tournament.
Yeah, that's a good
coming
call.
Up next month.
It's coming up next month. Yes, we got a Philly in the house already. Say woo, charisma, Riz for short. Yeah, charisma, Riz. That's what it means. You got a lot of.
Oh, that's what that is. Okay,
you got a lot of Riz. It's Rizmas, baby. It's Rizmas season. I got my tree cup. I'm ready to go.
I got my Corona Sunbrew non-alcoholic beer.
Hey, the Corona non-alcoholic beers rule.
Oh, they are so good.
They're so good. I've also got the Guinness one upstairs. That was good. And a Peroni, if you know what Peroni is.
No, I don't.
I've never had the Peroni NA. It's delicious. I have found that it's become easier and easier to be a non-drinking member of society when they give you all these great non-alcoholic options. It's good. So it works for me.
Dustin's in the house. Dustin, how is it going?
Hello. Which with Dustin in the house, Boris is in the house. This is for exposure, which you know what it means. It means it's LPW week officially beginning right now. We kick off LPW week here in these parts. This is what we do. We are at LPW 21. Can you believe it, guys? 21.
On brunch this morning, we watched a match from LPW 2 and seeing just how much the wrestlers have progressed, the overall aesthetic of LPW, like it has come a long way.
And now if we
what
could
match
get
did you watch?
Mo Jabari versus Jack Bride versus Lumberjack Larry.
Okay.
Yes.
If only we could get Boris to progress. No, I'm kidding. Boris, how are you beautiful, wonderful
progress?
star?
How much more progressive would you like me? I am doing well. I am not celebrating Canadian Super Bowl. I'm boycotting it. I'm enjoying this because my team's on it. I'm enjoying this Nestle Pure Life bottle of water and my jumbo Christmas coloring book. That's the ladies. It's just there, so I thought I would show. But yeah, no, I'm all show week. Always the best week of the month. I'm ready. This one's going to be a good one. We're going to finish off the year strong, and I'm excited.
Yeah, I was going to say I had you on Beards for you gave us the season preview for the CFL, and it didn't go the way you.
No,
it did not go the way you had planned. So we're sitting here on a Sunday afternoon on the Canadian Super Bowl. I don't even think you guys are allowed to say Super Bowl. And we're going to talk LPW.
It's the Canadian Super Football event because of copyrights.
I know. I've learned a lot over the last few weeks about this, and I find it to be silly. Absolutely silly. But what do I know? Hello, JPJ, that absolute stud.
An absolute beaut.
I miss that guy.
I miss that guy too. Grey Cup. That's what it's called, the Grey Cup.
The Super Owl.
Sounds like a Harry Potter thing.
Well, Boris, we'll have to get you back on Beard so you can chat it up with JPJ.
Whatever you guys want to talk about, I'll tell you what I know or don't know.
All right. Well, here's what we know. I'm going to put it up on the screen. This is what we're talking about today. LPW 21. The Chain Wrestling, November 24th. That is this Friday in Edmonton, Alberta at the Rec Room, as always. The show, if you cannot be there, will be streaming, as always, live on our Twitch at Love Wrestling CA on Twitch. Friday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time for us in the States, and you Mountain time folk is at 7.
For you in the States?
For the East Coast state people. Sorry.
Only the Eastern people matter.
So all of the U.S. is in the time zone where
time zones go like this, right? Not like this. All right, I'll just leave.
Screw you, Arizona.
It's 9 p.m. everywhere.
Right. But 9 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Mountain time for you Weisenheimers. So we're off to a wicked good start here. Wicked good start. In a lot of ways, friends, this is the last show of the year.
But it's the last show of the year.
But it's a new beginning in a lot of ways as well.
Fair, yeah.
This is it. This is a new era. We have a new champion.
Mm-hmm.
We have 2 new champions, but we have a grand champion. Larry Woods is the champ. First defense coming up this month. But I'm just like, what? A lot of things, a lot of moving parts. There's no more Ben Omen. He's out of the Rads. The Rads are scrambling to figure things out. Zoe Sager's not a champion. She's been a champion for a better part of the year. Travis Williams is the new challenge champion. This is crazy.
A lot went down last month that definitely kind of changed the landscape of LPW. I want to say a quick shout out to Zach for the branding. Again, always on point. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm a big Fleetwood Mac fan, but I know that album art is iconic, and he killed it as usual.
Mm-hmm. And this one old man Pluggo is talking when it comes to time zones and how I hate him. This graphic that he did right here for LPW 21 this might be the best one yet.
It is incredible.
It's like spot on.
Yeah. Just fantastic. Great work by Zach on that.
It's almost,
I love it.
Almost as good as Big Bad Boris's low impact Aqua Size Extravaganza. Almost.
Which we're waiting for that to happen. When is that going to go down, by the way?
I don't have any kind of stroke in this company other than at my microphone, which sounds weird. So your guess is as good as mine. But I'm ready to put on the water wings whenever I get the call.
That's not true. Last month, Spencer said you could talk out of school all you want. You won't get fired. That's a little bit of stroke.
Okay, well, I don't have any.
But it's your aqua size. It's your aqua size class. You got a little bit of stroke, the breaststroke. What's this? Just the normal stroke, the doggy paddle stroke, front stroke, back stroke. Is there a side stroke? Is there like the butterfly?
There's the butterfly. I'm partial to the breaststroke myself.
Boris, behave.
Hey, I can talk out of school all I want and not get fired.
This is true. But if you could wait till the 10-minute mark of the show so we don't get demonetized, that would be ideal. But you know what? Boss said it best. We're going to jump into the card right after I do this. If you're in the stream, please go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe, hit the notification button, bell, so you know when we're going to go live with all of our cool content. The more likes we get, the more people show up. The algorithm likes that. And we're going to need it if Boris is going to talk about breaststrokes all night.
Mm-hmm. Only swimming.
Look at that. I said we talked about it. We jumped up 2 viewers. Welcome in. So, per usual, every month we break down this card in the only best way that we know how. And I guess you guys want me to just pick a match and go with it?
You do a great job at that. Like, you kind of take the reins and you're just like, hey, guys, talk about this. And then we all talk about it. And it is a good time.
Yeah,
so I think
it's the Roman reigns.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're acknowledging you.
Oh, Lord. I gotta go watch the Canadian Super Bowl. I'll see you guys.
Okay. Well, since it's first in the queue and I'm super interested about it, we're gonna go with the number 1 match in the queue. The tag team match of Son of Irish and Jared Rogers, a new tag team with El Asesino and Dean Richter, also a new tag team. They're gonna square off. This is interesting. El Asesino was kind of like, I don't know what the word is, brokering for his services or trying to find a partner, whatever he was trying to do. And Dean took him up on the offer. And now we're going to see this newly formed tag team take on this other newly formed tag team that's a huge fan favorite. What do you guys think of this?
I think that Assassino saw something in Dean Richter that he sees very much in himself and thought, this is somebody that I can work with. And perhaps if I can get my hooks into this guy, we can get on the same page. We can perhaps go on a run for some gold. And I have every reason to believe that they could. Very talented and also not afraid to bend the rules and mean as hell. But I think Jared Rogers and Son of Irish also complement each other very well. So it's not going to be an easy task by any stretch.
Yeah, I think one of the big things in this, I mean, you have two relatively new teams that are starting off. Jared Rogers and Son of Irish, they do have, the couple matches under their belts, and they're facing off against two veterans in wrestling. So, I mean, they're really going to have to use their speed, their quickness, and really hope that they can capitalize on possibly a veteran mistake, being able to just, using the few things that they have an advantage to their advantage, so to say. So, I mean, that's really, to me, going to be the big question mark, is if they can really find a way to utilize that speed, utilize that skill, and gain the upper hand.
Youthful exuberance can sometimes make up for a lot of things. And, once those guys get going, it's going to be hard to stop.
Probably learned a lot from their match last month against Paralira. Learned hey, this tag division's no joke, and you guys, you got to be willing to get a little dirty if you're going to beat Paralira.
Yeah, getting thrown in there with the champs, iron sharpens iron, and I'm sure there was definitely some learning experiences in a post-match discussion about what we could do better, and I think the future is bright.
One thing for sure is that with the run that Son of Irish had as champ, I mean, maybe Jared Rogers teaming up with him can really, kind of take some of that from Irish to help, bring himself up a little bit more, gain some experience. So I think that is also like something that's kind of underlying that can really be beneficial to those guys.
Absolutely, I agree.
Yeah. Who wins?
Oh, see, this is the part that I hate.
I can't make picks because then I get trashed on
trouble.
Yeah, Mars calls me out on it. So unless I'm picking Mars to win every match,
can we get Mars the specialist to win them all?
Yeah, I'm picking Mars.
You pick Mars to win this one? I love young Jared Rogers. I love Son of Irish, but I think that this is not going to be their night.
Oh,
this is just, and again, I probably shouldn't even say anything because again, I'm gonna be sitting at the microphone while people come yell at me. But I mean, if you're gonna put me on the hot spot, I'm gonna give you what I think, and that's what I think.
That's true.
I've been known to be wrong almost all the time, though.
Yeah, me too. In the chat, let us know who you think's going to win, or let us know what match you're looking forward to the most. Let's get the conversation going. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I like Rogers and Son of Irish to figure it out. That'd be a fun, explosive tag team. And who knows? I'm just going to go on a limb. It's like picking against my kids.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean,
they make it hard on us here.
I would love to see Irish and Rogers pick up the win, especially after last month. But I mean, that veteran experience is going to be tough to overcome with Assassino and Dean Richter. So, I mean, Daddy Dean, blocking out the haters. I'm excited to see this matchup.
Blocking out the haters. You got to do that. Well, let's just keep on pushing. Let's stay in the tag team situation because that's going to be Paralira versus Seven, our boy Mars the Specialist, who we just talked about, who we just picked to win everything for the LPW tag team champs. The reason I say that, we stay in the tag team space. We just kind of talked about them a little bit, how they're willing to do whatever it takes to win. Well, I think they're meeting a team. I'm sorry, Paralira is willing to do whatever it takes. I think they're meeting a team at Seven that also has proven we don't care. We're going to do what we got to do to bring home gold to our fearless leader, Jack Pride. And yeah, this is going to be good.
That's exactly what I was going to say, is oftentimes, Paralira, they know that their opponents are going to kind of try, for the most part anyway, to kind of skate by the fair way to do business. And this is definitely not that way. So they know that they're going to be up against somebody who's going to resort to the same kind of tricks they do. Seven riding very, very high after another successful Scramble title defense, Ska Ramble title defense by Jack Pride, as well as them ridding Seven of Ben Omen. So I believe momentum is a big thing in sports and in professional wrestling, just like anything else. So I think the titles are definitely in jeopardy. Paralira are working together very well as a team, as they have since they won those titles, so you know that they're always rock solid. But this might be their toughest test they've had so far.
Yeah, I think one of the things, especially with Mars and TJ, is, Jack has the gold around his waist. They would love to bring more gold to Seven, and they are riding high after last month. So I mean, sure, Paralier, they did defeat Rogers and Son of Irish last month. 7, they're riding high. So really, we're seeing two teams that are both on the rise here. One of them is going to fall. So is it going to be 7? Is it going to be Paraliera? The Mars and TJ, I mean, they work so well together. So you can't ever underestimate that. But then, I mean, Paraliera has been knocking them out of the parks. They're willing to do anything it takes to win. The problem is 7 will also do anything it takes to win. So it's going to be a tough matchup, I think.
I think the key for this one is Mars's ability to kind of rein in TJ Cannon. He tends to go off, kind of have cock. He's very hot-headed. He's not the most well thought out person. Hopefully he's not watching this and gonna smack me in the face, but sometimes he needs to be kind of aimed in the right direction and go ahead. So if Mars can kind of harness the chaos of TJ Cannon, I like their chances.
Mm-hmm. Pluggo, what are your thoughts?
Well, for me, I think the big thing for 7 is there a little bit of a celebratory hangover from the big emotional win at 20? Can they recoup? Because again, like we said, this is a championship match, and Paraliera, I know Boris in these past previews, you said, you know, how much you feel about the actions of said group, but like you're going into this match, are you ready? Are you focused? Are you like, all right, is it that's in our rear view and we're focused straight ahead? Or are you guys still like, you know, we took out Red, we took out Omen, that's good enough. They got to come. I don't know, man. Every time I pick against Paraliera, Barat yells at me, and then he proves me wrong every time. So I look at this match and man, it's like, again, I like 7. I like 7 a lot. I think we see new tag champs at LPW 21. Sorry, Paraliera. I think this is it. This is the time.
I mean, one other thing with this matchup is you do have Thaddeus at ringside for 7 as well. So maybe he helps out, comes into play with this one as well. Because, I mean, when you look at, I mean, like I said, 2 teams that will do anything it takes to win. But, I mean, 7 also does have that advantage outside of the ring. So will Thaddeus play into this? I mean, can he help them win? We'll find out Friday.
Because you know what's cool? Having the Scramble Championship. You know what's cooler? Having all the gold. I didn't even know this was possible. 71% of the polls say 7 is winning the tag titles. Spencer is in the chat putting polls up, which I can't see in StreamYard, but I did look on the stream that we're running on YouTube, and they are in the chat. So feel free to vote on those. That's very cool. That must be a new thing, or it's an old thing that I just found out about.
If it was 77% of the polls,
yes,
then I would think that something is.
We got 9 likes so far. We're shooting for 15. So if you're in the chat, tell your friends, swing on by, give us a like, give us a love.
I just gotta.
I gotta say breaststroke a couple more times. We gotta pay for Boris's beautiful voice. He's not cheap.
Pluggo, what hat is that? What hat are you wearing?
That is a Portland Sea Dogs.
Portland Sea Dogs.
This was minor league baseball, the Portland, Maine Sea Dogs. They are a Red Sox affiliate. Oh, affiliate saying we have 12 likes. So I've been
breaststroke. It's like Beetlejuice, but better.
So I think to tie off the tag team championship match, it's going to be a hard hitting affair. There's going to be a lot of moving parts.
And new.
And
I'm going to go out on a limb. And again, you're lucky, Pluggo, because you don't have to be in the same room with these guys after I tell them they're going to lose.
I just got yelled at on Thursday for not showing up again.
Fair enough.
Stephen Crow and TFA said,
how dare you not throw your whole life out of whack and spend a bunch of money and get on a plane and come to cold frozen Canada?
Yeah. But we did book somebody's going to beat up. Stephen Crow said he'd be willing to beat up on JPJ, let him take a couple bumps when he makes it up there in January.
Nice.
Okay. He didn't hesitate at all. He's like, I'll do it. Gotta love him for that. All right. Keep this train moving. Well, now I don't know where to go. Let's see. I could just do some let's keep it in the 7 realm. We'll talk about the Ska Ramble champion Jack Pride. Over 200 days, mind you. Just announced that the other day, taking on Tony Baroni, Tara Zepp, who's debuting here at LPW, Rich King, of the Rads, and Evan Rivers has made his way back to LPW for this Scramble Championship. We talk about it every month, guys. This is the hardest championship to defend because the odds are stacked against you. And once again, the LPW brains, their powers to be, have done it. They keep stacking these championship matches. Poor Jack Pride.
I always talk, like you said, about how hard this title is to defend, and the fact that he's had it for over 200 days is mind-blowing. It's a testament to his skill as well as his mental acumen, whether you agree with some of the tactics or not. But I'm being really bold this month, but I think this is the one. There is so much, like, I like this. There's a debut. There's some great returning talent. Evan Rivers showed out at GCW on Friday. He and Travis Williams, as well as Hugh Icarus, were put in a pretty prominent spot on that GCW show, and they really, really made the most of being in that spot. I don't know who's going to win this one, but I think we're going to have a new champion. But but again, Pride has just as much a chance if anyone is pulling it out. He has the experience, so he knows what to expect in these matches, whereas maybe some of these other guys don't. But new talent, returning talent, people wanting to make statements, and it's going to be a tough climb for Pride.
Unlike the Mighty Mighty Bosstones, Jack Pride is not a one-hit wonder. He consistently delivers every single time. Every defense finds a way to win. But with this match, I mean, you look at the moving pieces in this one, and it is an incredible array of talent because we have Jack Pride over 200 days as champ. You have Evan Rivers, who, as a part of Sovereign, has been absolutely tearing it up across the Pacific Northwest. Mm-hmm. I mean, him along with Judas Icarus and Travis Williams, they consistently deliver. They consistently get results, and they are making an incredible name for themselves. You have Rich King, who is no slouch. Rich, I mean, as a part of the Rads, he has tasted gold before. He knows what it's like to win. Then you have... Phil Baroni, Tony Baroni, Phil Baroni. Which is the UFC fighter that I'm thinking of?
Phil, this is Tony Baroni.
Yeah, okay. Pardon me, Tony Baroni.
Vinny Barbarino.
I will always get them confused for all of my time. An incredible veteran. And then you have Tara Zepp debuting, who, like I mentioned with Evan Rivers, has been just tearing it up, appearing everywhere, whether it's GCW, whether it's different promotions all over the place. So I'm so excited for this match.
I think the X factor, sorry to cut you off. I think the X factor in this is Rich King. Rich King 1 month ago saw his best friend, climb to the top of the mountain with, a little bit of his help. Let's call a spade a spade. And I think that he wants that feeling. He wants to feel what it was like to stand in the middle of that ring holding up singles gold, and there's no reason why he couldn't do it.
Mm-hmm. Especially after, again, like we talked earlier, the Rads, the Ben Omen is no longer their manager, and we've got each member of the Rads right now in a singles match, which is very unique for a group that has been heavily featured in our tag division here. So yeah, and I can tell you at firsthand, Rich King shows up every week on Between Two Beards and does a NFL pick. And I can tell you the last few weeks have been rough because he has just not been in it. So hopefully he's focused up. He'd be a guy that I would put, if I was going to have to maybe put the rankings of who would beat Pride, I think Rich King's motivation's there. Mm-hmm. Put him at the top. I'm very interested to see Tara Zepp, brand new debut. I love debuts for LPW. I love to see what they bring to the ring. And yeah, Uncle Daddy, this is a good one. Like you said, Boris, this is a very low, I would say a low-key stealer of the show. This scramble match has got some players in it. And Evan Rivers, man, Jack Pride, as I always say, is going to need both his minds to pull this one out. Don't forget to get those likes in. We're aiming for 15.
I'm stealing that.
Steal it.
Both is yep. I'm writing that down in my.
And when you say it on Friday, you better be like my boy Pluggo.
No, copyright Pluggo 2023.
You can have it. We got Dustin in the house. He's saying the winners of the scramble match will be fans. Tough competition for Pride. Plus, we'll get to hear Rich's awesome theme song. Yeah,
win.
These scramble matches are a staple at LPW. It's always a good time. They're always show stealers. They're no matter where they end up on the card, you always leave it going. And my favorite, like I said, you always leave it going. Ooh, I can't wait to see this person do something in LPW outside of a scramble match. So
they're always so much fun. There's so much action. Like Boris has mentioned before, you almost don't know where to watch with a match like this because there's always something going on.
Never ends. Always action. Poor Boris has to be out there by himself calling the match.
Sometimes there's stuff going on behind me, and
Can't you get like a special guest commentator for the scramble to help you keep tabs on everything?
Maybe I need one. Maybe there's somebody being groomed as we speak. You never know. There's things going on in the world that kids don't know about.
You know, it's funny. I might know what you're talking about. Maybe
you don't know a goddamn thing.
I know some stuff. I know stuff about things.
I've heard stuff.
The things I know that could take down LPW. No, I'm just kidding.
I just want to sound cool, like I know stuff when I don't.
Yeah.
You know what I do? How many likes are we at?
12, I believe.
12.
Breaststroke. 100-meter breaststroke. That's not very long, is it?
Somebody leave the chat, go to the Twitter sphere, say, hey, come over here, like this, subscribe, #breaststroke, come back in, bring like 50 friends. We'll make it happen. All right, let's keep on moving. We're about the halfway mark of our show, so, intermission time right now.
Well, actually, at the intermission, I mean, this is almost a nice little time to talk about the night before LPW 21.
Oh, you're stealing all my stuff, Blair. You're stealing all my stuff.
I did not pull up the graphic for the match. I don't have it. So
that's okay. But we are getting the Champion of Salvation, the finals of the tournament, with Taryn from Accounting and Stephen Crow. So that'll be a fun one.
First ever Champion of Salvation will be crowned. The championship belt I've seen. Actually, everybody saw it at the last Thursday night event. And Blair, if you want to, you can explain the wrinkle, the interesting clause with this title. Or
I'll save that for you because I'm not aware of it.
You are not aware of this. So basically, the winner of this championship will become the Champion of Salvation, who will defend it on the Thursday night LPW and clandestine wrestling shows. However, at any given time, they can make a deal with the devil and relinquish that title for a match on a Friday night event for the LPW Grand Championship.
Ooh. Who's the devil?
It's oh Jesus.
Is it Adam Cole?
I'm trying to remember what I was talking about now. And that title, the Championship of Salvation, will become vacant and will be a new champion will be crowned on the following Thursday show with a 4-man tournament. So at any given time, not right when you win it, but any given time, so whoever wins this title, they can hang on to it for a couple of months. And when they kind of pick their spot, it's almost sort of like a Money in the Bank, but not really, because it's not an anytime, anywhere thing. You have to relinquish it and say, this is the night, let's go.
So like if you win it, so let's say Taryn wins it Thursday. She can't go Friday, I want the match. She's going to have to wait until at least the next month.
It'll be a championship match at the next available convenience, depending on what's booked. So, you could rule the roost on Thursday for a while if you want to. You want to test your mettle against some of the young talents and the students. And everybody likes gold. Everybody gets into this business to have some gold. So it's an interesting wrinkle, and it's going to make those Thursday shows even more fun than they already are.
Yes, and Ophelia is saying a blindfold match with T.Y. Jackson and Zoe Sanger. I can't wait for that.
The first ever blindfold match in LPW history. I mean,
is that a thing? Was that announced?
Yes.
Yeah. When was that announced, and where was I?
This past week.
You were watching Canadian football playoffs.
No, my team's been out for weeks. I just started a new job, a shoot job, and it's been downloading just a ton of information into my brain over the past few weeks, and I've been kind of neglecting the rest of my life. I was not aware of that. So, damn. Okay. All right. Sorry, Spencer. I do pay attention, I swear.
Oddly enough, it won a poll, he said. Which, if you want to see these clandestine wrestling society shows that we are chatting about, they go up live, or not live, they go up exclusively on our Patreon after the event. Usually Spencer has them up the weekend after that event. So go to patreon.com/lovewrestlingca and get subscribed today for only a couple bucks to help us out,
And if you're in the Edmonton area, I mean, it is a very fun night of wrestling, very family friendly, Bring everyone. Go check it out. It is a great time. You will not be disappointed.
Sorry to cut you off. And only $10. That's $10 of entertainment you're going to spend on a Thursday night in beautiful Edmonton, Alberta. Beautiful Edmonton, Alberta.
Even though you just said it was frozen.
No, it's been beautiful. Like the weather's been ridiculously ridiculous. We were 10 above today. I don't know what that is Fahrenheit. I'll Google it if you guys want to talk about
93 degrees.
62.
Okay, you guys talk about something else and I'll
62. We do this quite a bit. I still haven't figured out the Fahrenheit to Celsius. Thank you, kooky Canadians. I love you all.
Depending on how many likes we're at, maybe it's 69.
As we discussed a few weeks back, I am part of the United States division of Love Wrestling.
Oh, here we go.
So 10 Celsius is 50.
Ophelia is coming up clutch.
Ophelia is the best.
What am I even here for? I don't know where the matches are. Ophelia knows more. You want to come call the show, Ophelia?
So Ophelia, if you want to hop on, get your camera. And
there's your guest commentator for the Scramble match. Ophelia will be there. She's a season pass holder, bro.
She'd probably be better than me. But yeah, for it to be that warm on November or whatever today is, the 19th.
Yeah,
ridiculous.
We've gotten crazy lucky over here too with some weather, so I'm not complaining at all. But now I've lost my train of thought. Okay, let's get back into these matches now.
Intermission is over. I went to the bathroom and I had a quick slice of pizza, and we're ready to get back into it.
We should have played the intermission reel that they played. No, all right, let's get back into it with a banger of a match that I got all excited for when it was announced. I think I even yelled out, "Oh shit!" in the chat with Spencer, but it is Travis Williams, your new LPW Challenge champion, who won it back at LPW 19, taking on T.Y. Jackson of the Rads, coming off again a very heartbreaking day, a very emotional day. I won't say heartbreaking because there was some good, there was some bad last month for the Rads, but he's venturing out into the singles realm again. He's been doing it, but he's going back at it again and trying to get his hands on some gold, hoping that this time around will be better than the last. Whoever wants to start, you just dive right in, because all I got to say is this is going to be a banger.
Now, last month that we did this, I kind of copped out a little bit, and I said every match was going to be the show stealer, and I made a conscious effort this month to not do that and only pick the one, and this is going to be the one. I'm really, really looking forward to calling this and getting to be like literally front row inches away from it, because this Travis Williams, again, he had a little bit of chicanery in winning that title. There was a handful of tights. Not a lot of people are talking about that, but so be it. You got the job done. Again, like you said, he's been tearing it up in the Pacific Northwest. T.Y. Jackson's been killing it here at home. And as soon as this one was announced, I was like, oh, yeah. Yep. Sign me up.
Giddy up.
I think Travis Williams worked so hard, and you could see how I don't want to say even relieved, but just how proud he was and happy he was that he got it done. And he grabbed that title just with white knuckles, and I think that it's going to be tough to pry it from his hands, especially this early in the run. But if anybody could do it, it is T.Y. Jackson.
I am all for some chicanery, skirt the lines. If you can get away with it, why are you not using it to your advantage? And I mean, when you add in the willingness and ability to do that with the overall skill and raw talent of Travis Williams, who will do anything it takes to win, I mean, T.Y. Jackson is going to be up for a hell of a fight. But with that being said, if anyone is up to that challenge, it is T.Y. Jackson, who consistently proves that he can deliver in the big matches.
I think that I know that we have been starting off the events with the Scram or with the Challenge Championship for months and months and months. I hope, and I'm not in any position to tell anybody how to run their business, but I hope we start this event off with this one too, for a couple of reasons. A, it's going to start the show off with a bang, and B, everybody in that locker room is going to see that match and be like, yeah, we got to follow that. Let's go. Let's do this.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I don't know if I want to be match 2 after that. I know this locker room is different, and they're always everyone's the main event, but still, I would still be like, oh God, did T.Y. and Travis just blow the roof off this place? Oh shoot. It's cold in here.
Wasn't that TNA's tagline? Skirt the lines? Comedy.
I don't know, but the TNA is back.
I didn't think there was a whole lot of equity in the name TNA, but people seem pretty excited about it. So maybe I don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
Hey, when Zellers announced that they were gonna like do pop-up shops in the Bay, I mean everyone got jacked up for some.
Are you saying that Steve Pluggo doesn't know what that means, which I think is amazing? Are you saying that TNA is the Zellers of wrestling? Because that would be the best take I've ever heard in my life.
Here,
yes,
you guys,
100%.
You guys keep talking. I'll just read.
Oh,
did you get that one?
Yeah.
Mrs. Pluggo got this for me for $1 off of some book website that she frequents.
Mrs. Pluggo is a gem. So
Mrs. Pluggo has done quite a bit of this. Is her.
Apparently, it's 50-50 in the poll for Travis and TY, and if that doesn't say everything.
TY is the people's champ, man. But if I'm not mistaken, if Travis Williams for some reason would lose to TY, which wouldn't be some shocking defeat. Is he the quickest challenge champion in challenge champion history? The first defense, that would be something because we've had long reigns with this challenge champion. We've been spoiled as LPW fans to have like TFA hold it for a while. Mitch held it for a while. Son of Irish went on that incredible run with it. Travis Williams has got a lot to live up to from the lineage of this belt.
He does. And I mean, it's going to be an incredible task to live up to some of those past champions runs, but I think Travis is up to it. And I'm really excited for this match. Like out of all of them, this is the one that really has me like, this is going to deliver.
And people say like the Intercontinental title is like the workhorse title of WWE, and I think the challenge title is kind of like the workhorse title of LPW. And if anybody could be the workhorse, it's Travis Williams.
Oh, so. Yeah, absolutely. They do.
I hate to go against T.Y. Jackson because I'm a fan, and he's a nice young man, or at times when he wants to be as a nice young man, super talented. But I think Travis is beginning that role that Irish began.
Let's be honest with TY though. This has been, I think, one of the best runs of the LPW time for him. He's been laser focused. He's been extra motivated in a lot of ways. They've put kind of the shenanigans, like goofy stuff aside, and just been chipping away at business. And this is another the Brads could leave with all the gold tonight, or not tonight, next Friday. That would be something. No tag team. They're all singles champs. Everything's forgotten. Winning cures a lot of things. And I did mention that if they were to happen to win all the gold, maybe they have enough stroke to get Ben back in the fold. When you hold all the titles.
You kind of mentioned, TY having almost turning over a new leaf. And I mean, we've talked about Travis Williams willing to use, the chicanery, the dirty tactics to win.
Skirting the line.
Yeah, skirting the line.
The TNA.
He's shown that he's not afraid to do that too. So maybe that's something, he has that in his back pocket if he needs that for his advantage.
Here at TNA, we skirt the line.
It's going to be a hell of a fight, though. I really hope that we start the show off with that because it's like, let's get the people in their seats, off their seats right away.
Mm-hmm. All right. Now we're talking about skirting the line. This
LPW wrestling.
LPW
skirting the line.
I can't get my voice that low.
Okay, I'm throwing out the challenge to Spencer. He has to say skirt the line one time Friday. Just once. Sneak it in there somewhere. That's all I ask. I'll never ask for another thing again until the next time I ask for something.
That's fair.
But this match is interesting. We have another. This is the second time we've done a number one contenders gauntlet match with Michael Allen, Richard Clark, Zoe Sager, Stephen Crow, and the Thickness, Reed Matthews. Now, guys, do you guys want to talk about all of the intrigue and Michael, Richard Allen Clark has had a title shot. Zoe just lost the title. Thickness is her insurance policy. He's in the mix. Stephen Crow is in this mix, and his brother in arms is going for the grand championship later on in this evening. There's a lot here. Where do we even start?
A couple of things. First of all, Zoe and the Thickness may have to tangle with each other in this, and Stephen Crow may already be the champion of Salvation by this time. By the time this rolls around, so there's a couple of other little storylines. I think this all comes down to the draw. You want to get that fourth pick I believe last time we did this one, the fourth pick was Michael Allen Richard Clark, and he did win. I may be wrong on that because I have a terrible memory, and if I have my facts wrong, I apologize. Ophelia probably knows.
No, look, but, I forgot the most important part. The winner gets their shot at the Oil Rumble. We need Ophelia in the house. We need to sign her to the payroll. She is super good. But yes, the Oil Rumble in January. The winner of this gets their shot at the Oil Kings.
I was at the Oil Kings game last Friday night. The Calgary Hitmen beat them 10-2, which is awesome. But I saw the kind of area where the ring is going to be set up, and I got all excited. I think that's going to be a super awesome, fun event. I'm really, really excited for that. Who's going to be number one contender? We haven't seen Michael Allen Richard Clark in I almost said PWA in LPW for a while, and he's going to want to be itching to make that statement. But I honestly think it's all about the draw.
Yeah, and Spencer said Travis Williams won the first gauntlet again to challenge Zoe at 18.
With this match,
did Michael Allen Richard Clark ever win a gauntlet, or am I inventing that? Or was that a PWA thing, or do I not know what the hell I'm talking about?
You might be inventing that one, because when you said it, I was like, I don't
know. That never happened?
No, I don't think so.
I'm so sorry. I got a bad memory.
That's okay.
With this matchup, it's almost turned like, depending on how Reed and Zoe's relationship factors into this is almost a triple threat with a heavy advantage going towards them. You have to think that they've proven time and time again they look out for each other. So being in a matchup like this, how is that their relationship going to play out? They're going to look out for one another. I mean, are Stephen Crow and Michael Allen Richard Clark going to be up to the task of, an even bigger challenge with this match?
There may very well be a finger poke of doom in this match. I mean, who knows? Mm-hmm. If Zoe and Reed draw at some point where they're in there together, I wouldn't.
Here for that.
I wouldn't put it past Zoe to ask Reed to lay down for her. The question is, how much pride does Reed Matthews have, and how much does he want that opportunity to be number one contender compared to his loyalty to Zoe Sager? So there's a lot of moving parts in this. It's going to be very interesting to see how it all shakes out.
If Zoe was a Mitsubishi, he'd beat that up. He'd beat her up, but
I don't know what that means.
You didn't see Reed Matthews beat up the Mitsubishi Galant, the car. You didn't see that?
No.
I'm saying if Zoe was a car, he'd beat up that car.
Oh, okay.
But Zoe's not a go. But so basically, if Zoe and Reed get number one and number two draws in this spot, do you think they just sit there and then finger poke at doom, and then Zoe moves on, or that's what you're thinking?
I could see her asking for that, but I don't know how much that thickness would want to comply with.
Somebody send Boris the clip of Reed Matthews beating up a car.
So I'm out of the loop. I feel like I'm a bad employee. I'm sorry, guys.
Okay. So a few months ago on the brunch gimmick, me and Lawrence were watching a match. It was a Reed Matthews match, and the YouTube link cut to a commercial of a Mitsubishi, and
right as it said, and Reed Matthews' opponent.
Yeah, so we had the running joke that it was going to be Reed Matthews versus a Mitsubishi.
That
He's
Mitsubishi
just going to fight
has no chance.
No. And then the Short Kings released a video of Reed Matthews beating up a Mitsubishi. So
okay, I'm going to watch that as soon as we're done here because that sounds amazing.
Yeah, so that's why I said maybe if Zoe comes as Zoe, he won't beat her up.
Do you remember? I mean, Boris, I'd assume you watch.
Do I remember? Probably not.
You would watch World Junior Hockey. And sometimes in Europe, at the arenas, they'll have like the cars in the corner, like up in the stands.
Yes.
So maybe at the Oil Rumble, they can work something like that in there where they have a car and Reed Matthews just beats it up.
Well, sometimes they drive out like the GMC 2024 or whatever during in between periods. Maybe
Dodge Ram
Blue Thunder that thing right.
It's got a hammy. I feel he brings up an excellent point. The Oil Rumble is a big stage. Why wouldn't Reed want to be in that match? I think he would want to be in that match, but if you remember, I use this analogy a lot when I think of Zoe and Reed. I think of like MJF and Wardlow. Like in Zoe's mind, Reed works for her.
Yeah, and sometimes
and money talks and yeah, you know what I mean. So
where you're coming from, Ophelia, I absolutely do. Yeah. But this is a strange business with strange people.
With Reed, I would love to see him really take control for himself and grab those opportunities, because I mean he's proven in ring he can deliver, and at some point I hope that he can start looking out for himself with this.
Yeah.
Reed Matthews held the PWA Mayhem title longer than anyone and had an amazing run in a lot of tough matches. So I know, and everybody knows firsthand, that he can get it done. So
Dustin saying in January, he is hoping that we get a stare down between Reed and a Zamboni. Yes, please. That Zamboni looking over his shoulder like, I know what you did to that car.
We're not going to be invited back to Rogers Place, are we?
No.
The first and only Oil Rumble as Reed Matthews gives a Zamboni a suplex.
So, yes. So the Stephen Crow side of it, like you said, could be the Salvation Championship with that golden ticket kind of deal. Could just become the number one contender to possibly MRB, his brother MRB. I talked to him on Thursday night, and he said that that they're a family first. There's not going to be any animosity. I just think it's really interesting. We're starting to see these groups and these pairings have to like make tough choices, and I would be an interesting move to see Stephen Crow as your number one contender. I think of the group, Reed got a grand championship title shot before. I believe he has. He might be the only one, if I'm not mistaken, hasn't.
Ask Ophelia, she'll know.
Ask Ophelia or Spencer in the chat. But so basically, the winner of this is going to get another shot, which we've talked. They don't come around that often, so you got to make the most of it on the big stage. So there's going to be no love lost here. It'll be interesting who draws number 4. It'll be interesting who draws number 1. There's so much at stake here. I'm excited. I can't wait. Like, my goodness.
Before we go on, we would be amiss if we didn't talk. Like we've talked Reed, Zoe, and Stephen Crow, but Michael Allen, Richard Clark sitting right there, and you cannot underestimate him. The talent that man possesses, the raw skill and power. And I mean, he is, I don't want to say he's a dark horse heading into this one, since we've just talked about everyone else, but like, he is someone who could very easily pick up the victory in this match and go for the gold with it. And you cannot forget that at all.
That'd be a super long nameplate too.
Yeah. It'd be the entire length of the belt.
It'd be like those jerseys that go like this. The long names.
Salta La Macchia.
Yeah, Salta La Macchia is a great shout. Crow Armstrong for my Cubbies.
Wembanyama. That's a basketball thing, I think. I don't know. I see it on SportsCenter.
Do they not have Canadian basketball leagues?
We have the Raptors, but I don't care.
There's a Canadian basketball league.
Our Love Wrestling own Josh Robinson just got into basketball over the summer. Picked the Raptors as his team.
There is it's a very small, I'm not sure how many teams are in it, but Winnipeg has a team, the Winnipeg Sea Bears.
Do they have a bigger court and a bunch of funky rules that nobody knows about?
Are they in the same league as the Stingers, the Edmonton Stingers?
I think they might be.
EBL or something like that. I haven't been to a game because it's a little costly. I looked at tickets.
Yeah.
But, hey, any local sports is good.
So the Canadian Basketball League, the courts are 10 feet bigger. The basketballs are a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
The Canadian Elite Basketball League. They're all elite up there.
3 quarters instead of 4.
Yeah, the hoop is at the free throw line instead of.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Hey, Air Canada, Andrew Wiggins, baby, shout out. This is a perfect segue. I'm going to put it up on the screen. I'm going to use this comment, and then we'll go right into the match. Steven wins the gauntlet, and TFA wins the title on Thursday. That could make for some interesting months ahead. Yeah, speaking of TFA, she's taking on none other than Killer Kelly, one half of the Impact Knockouts champions. Just in a singles match, this is just going to be one of those matches that you sit back and you just go, my God, that looks like it hurts, because they're just going to beat the crap out of each other. Now, Dustin's right. This makes for some interesting, this is a huge high-profile match for TFA. Potentially Stephen Crow wins the gauntlet. MRB wins the Grand Championship. Clandestine Society riding high. And then we just do a triple threat at the Oil Rumble for the Grand Championship. But no, talk to me about how excited you are. When I saw this match, Killer Kelly, we all know her track record. She's one of the most hard-hitting wrestlers on the planet, regardless of gender. And the TFA has been a day one in LPW. She's no slouch either. Who's going to win this thing? It's like the immovable object meets the fort, whatever that phrase is. You know what I'm saying.
The irresistible force meets the immovable object.
Whatever.
This is an incredible
something.
Pluggo, you're my favorite. Continue, Blair. I'm sorry.
That's okay. This is an incredible opportunity for TFA, and I could not be more excited for her to get this chance. I mean, she is going to be in for a world of hurt facing off with Killer Kelly, but if anyone can rise to this occasion, it's TFA. And I like when I'm for my matches I'm looking forward to, this is right up there with Travis Williams versus TY, just for the overall like it factor this match has.
I think of this one kind of a little bit in the same way that I thought of Speedball and MRB. Taryn from Accounting is defending home turf. And anytime you get somebody that's coming in, especially like an established talent, you don't want this established talent coming into your turf and rolling over on you. And if anyone can stop Killer Kelly, it's going to be Taryn from Accounting. Again, I know it's a cop-out, and I say it all the time. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be a hell of a fight. And Killer Kelly, every time she walks into a new promotion, you got to understand or assume that she wants to put the best foot forward, represent Impact Wrestling, show that she's worthy of that title, and come in and kick some ass. So there's no gold on the line, but there's certainly a lot of territoriality and a lot of pride, and pride can make you do crazy things.
Mm-hmm. Are they going to be able to contain this match into just the ring?
They might be behind me as well before the night's over.
Because when I spoke with TFA, she's very, you know how Taryn is. She's very like, I'm just excited for the opportunity. But she's also got that mean streak in her. And I have a feeling as the days build and build and build towards Friday, she's not gonna push comes to shove. She's ready to knock somebody out. It's gonna get crazy. And like you said, Killer Kelly does not back down from anybody either. This is insane.
I'm right next to the ring for all of Taryn from Accounting's matches. And she may be happy to be there before the bell rings, but her demeanor changes. I see the look in her eyes change, and she is no longer happy to be there. She's happy to do of whatever she can to kick your ass. And I think that Killer Kelly knows that, or if she doesn't, she's going to find out.
Like, just thinking about what a victory would mean to TFA with this matchup in the grand scheme of LPW, where you got to think, okay, like she's facing off with Steven for the Championship of Salvation, but she gets a big win here over Killer Kelly. And depending on what happens in the main event, I mean, the clandestine society is going to be looking pretty good with all of these victories if things can go their way.
Yes, she did, Dustin. TFA mentioned on B2B that some of the toughest women she's faced included Jody Threat, Nicole Matthews. Killer Kelly is surely going to be at the top of that list. Yeah, it's like the LPW powers to be are like, give us the hardest hitting people we can find and throw them TFA's way.
Mm-hmm. Like TFA is just facing off against a murderer's row of tough wrestlers with, Jody Threat, Nicole Matthews, and now Killer Kelly. I mean, this is going to be a doozy, but like I said before, at TFA, I think she'll be up to the challenge.
I believe TFA also wrestled Veda Scott on Veda Scott's first appearance.
Yes. Yeah.
Did I remember that correctly? I think I do.
You did remember that correctly. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
You got to get one. Everybody gets one, right?
Well, I told Blair before my Grainmaker appearance last week that I have a terrible memory, and there's so many facts about things in the past, whether they involve me or not, that I get wrong, and I feel bad. Like MRB has a photographic memory. He's like, no, Boris, that's not what happened. That's not who that was. That's not when that was. That's not where that was. I'm like, sorry, I don't remember.
Isn't that kind of the wrestler that I saw do like a moonsault off of that big ladder into the other ladders into Travis Williams, has the photographic picture perfect memory, and you're just like, I know nothing.
I should mention that the conversation that Boris mentioned, it's up on all podcast streaming platforms now. If you go to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, search Grainmaker Wrestling Podcast, you will see the most recent episode with my guest Boris, and we talk about it. So go check it out.
It was fun. I had a lot of fun.
Guess what I'm doing? Guess what I'm doing on my commute tomorrow?
And it gave me a reason to post the insane clip of MRB and where I lost my mind and forgot that I was calling wrestling. But that's another story for another day.
50-50 split in the poll for Killer Kelly.
I was just going to say time limit draw. I was just going to say that because I don't want to pick. I don't know if I can. Is there time limits? And I guess I never hear a 20-minute time limit. Has
there been a draw in LPW?
Oh my goodness. This is crazy, guys. Unannounced Luckily, we should be on his good side because we picked him to win every match on the card, unannounced. Not Mars, the specialist, is here. Hi, Mars. How are you, friend?
How y'all boys doing? How y'all doing? You miss me?
Yeah. Yes.
Spencer gave me a link, and I was like, well, I gotta pop in.
Okay.
Pluggo asked for my picks on some of the matches, and I said I can't pick because Mars gave me heat after I picked against him last time. So unless Mars is winning every match, I'm not picking.
It's true. I have to win every match. That's how it works.
Yeah.
Well, let's hear from the horse's mouth, so to speak. You've got tag team title match, you and TJ Cannon.
Yes, sir.
Well, I mean, you're just looking at your face right now. I can tell that you're confident. Tell me about it. What's going on? How are you feeling going into this? What's the game plan?
For one, I can see Spencer is commenting. I'm throwing you under the bus. It's what I do best. Obviously, I have no doubts in my mind. Me and TJ, ever since we've beaten their ads over and over again, we've month after month got more on the same page. And now we're a well-oiled machine. We're one mind. I have no doubts in my mind we're going to beat Bayrat and Sheik. No doubts.
Okay.
If you remember correctly, actually, this past month in the Tournament of Salvation, I beat Sheik.
Yeah.
That is very true.
Yeah. So I already beat one half of them. Bayrat, walk in the park. I have no doubts. It's going to be fine.
Okay.
Walk in the park.
Walk in the park.
This confidence from Mars. I mean, I like this little the confidence you guys are having heading into this match against Paralira. I mean,
It's called swagger. It's called Riz. Mars.
it's called Riz.
Pluggo knows what's up. He's
Now
my
I know-
boy for a reason. Pluggo knows what's up.
That's right. That's right.
I know that you're a level-headed young man, very focused. We also know your partner, TJ Cannon, not so much. Before you popped on here, I brought up the fact, are you going to be able to kind of focus that frenetic chaos in the right direction to help you and maybe not hinder you? I know you guys, you say you're on the same page, but you also know that TJ Cannon can be a hothead, to say the least. Is it part of your game plan to see if you can focus that energy to your benefit?
You bring up a good point, TJ. He's a little frenetic. He's a little out there. But I've been able to handle that before. Like, look at last month. No, TJ, he knows what he does best, and he is able to adapt to a match and put his best foot out there. I call myself the technical tactician for a reason. I see everything. I know how this works. I know how Paralira works, and I know how to put TJ up to beat them for that. I'm not worried at all. I'm not worried at all about TJ's freneticness. We're good friends. It'll be fine. It'll be fine, Boris.
Confidence. Food of the wise man, but liquor of the fool.
The only thing you have to worry about is signs being thrown at you. That's all you have to worry about.
Pluggo, we can't hear you. Your mouth was moving, and
I muted myself to cough, and then I never unmuted myself. What a professional that I am. I was going to say, Mars, is there any internal discussion or maybe extra pressure to bring this title home and make Seven's Night even bigger with you guys getting the tag titles and Jack retaining the Ska Ramble Championship?
You got to add the Ska, and else he gets very angry.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
I know.
Oh,
Mars is frozen in time.
Mars is frozen.
And he will stay in that one spot until Friday night when it is time for the tag team.
There he is. There
okay,
he
he's
is.
back. He's back.
He froze on us, Mars.
Whoopsie.
Moving too quick for the camera to keep up.
To answer the question, there's obviously pressure all the time, but I wouldn't say there's added pressure. Jack, he understands where me and TJ are coming from, and he understands that we're going to bring home the titles. He trusted us last month. He was in the back getting ready for his match, getting his makeup on, and he just knew we were going to beat their ads. It's the same thing this month. He knows we're going to beat Paralira.
Very cool.
I mean, coming off of last month, Seven is riding high. A massive victory last month to send Ben Omen out of the Rads. For yourself, like we talked about it before, Paralira, they're unafraid to skirt the line, so to say, when it comes to wrestling. How are you guys going to be able to avoid some of the tricks that they're able to play?
Again, remind you of last month with Sheik on the NSN Wrestling Sunday show. He tried to hit me with the belts, and what happened? The ref took it away from him, and I took the upper hand. If you ever watched that match, you know. So I'm not worried about them. You know, Sheiky Baby, Bayrat, they might do underhanded tactics, but we do it better.
You're going to skirt the line.
Yeah, I'm not worried. You know, I like to call myself one of the smartest wrestlers in the game right now. I'm a technical tactician for a reason. I'm not worried about what they could do. Not at all.
Okay. I'm picking you guys to win. I just don't want heat anymore.
Correct answer. Bro. You know what's up.
You're going to get heat from Barat now because he always listens to these and then tweets about it later.
Oh, damn.
He always tells me about it. And I'm like, oh, I got to do what I got to do, man. Journalistic integrity at the bay here. I can't skirt the line when it comes to picks, but I do think Seven's going to bring it home, not just because you're here. All right, we already said that. Boris.
Pluggo's a smart man.
See, Mars gets it. Mars gets it, guys. I don't. The rest of y'all need to catch up.
What are you saying about Boris? Is Boris against us?
No, I actually picked you guys earlier
pick.
on tonight. I went on a limb, so to speak. I don't like to. I feel like I shouldn't make picks since I'm sitting at that table, but they put me on the spot, and I think the tag titles are in the most jeopardy they've been in Imperial Heroes reign so far.
Good answer. Correct, sir. This is why we like you.
See, there you go.
See, they're making friends. Oh, Dare the Amazing's in the house. What's up, Dare the Amazing? We're just chatting some LPW 21, the chain wrestling. Mars, the specialist, just popped in. He's talking about his matchup.
Wait, so how many of you guys also voted for Jack to win?
Uh-oh, Boris.
You know what? I'm going to be honest. And I think this is the one. I think this. I will pay the piper and hope that I don't get a slap in the face on Thursday or Friday. But I mean, you can't deny the amount of talent that is in that match, notwithstanding the talent that Jack Pride has. I think this one he's in real tough. If anybody can pull it off, he can. But he's in real tough, and I think you'd even have to admit it.
No, that's a fair play. We got some talent in that match. We got Terzet debut, right? We got Tony Baroni. Love that man. He's crazy. We beat him though. Evan Rivers. Love that man too. We got Jack, amazing, and we got Rich King, don't we?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes, you do.
So there's 4 potential winners, right? But I think
there's 5.
There's
technically.
Okay, odds percentage. You got like 1% Rich King and then like 99% everyone else.
Oh,
we'll look at it that way.
Ooh, shots fired. Still no love lost with the Reds, huh?
No.
Is this ever going to die down between your two groups here?
Hey, man, we don't have to wrestle them anymore. No, we proved our point. We beat them. But that doesn't mean we love them.
No, that's true.
Now, I'm going to do some investigative journalism for a second here and probably regret this later. But Mars, can you raise your left arm, please? What's that all about?
Oh,
wrestling's a scary sport. You got hurt sometimes. It's not like bad. It's just a little sore. Nothing worse. Nothing bad.
Did you punch a Mitsubishi?
No, that's not. I don't have Mitsubishi anger. That's not me. That's the wrong short king.
Oh, sorry. Sometimes I get you guys confused.
I get it. It's easy. Yeah. You guys know what's up. Yeah.
I got love. I'm 5'8". I got love for the short king.
I'm taller than Blair. I'm 5'9".
Yeah.
Both taller than me.
Oh, but we're not as strong as you. And we don't have championship gold in our future as a tag team like you do, my friend.
That's a fair point.
So before we get you out of here, because we know you're a busy man, and we've got one more match to chat about. The floor is yours. If you want to say anything to Paralira, now's your chance.
Anything to Paralira.
Yeah.
you boys, you've had a successful run. You've beaten every other team out there except for 7. You've been avoiding us, been ducking and dodging us. So let me just leave you with this, boys. When you get in the ring with us, I will drop you both on your head like I do with the Sheik every other few months. Sheik knows. Actually, no. Let's look at this. All right, who has beaten Parlier before? I've beaten Parlier before, actually. If you go back all those months ago, it was myself and at the time my other partner, Mo Jabari.
Oh yes,
I've beaten Parlier before. I know it takes to beat them. I have their number. I have Sheiky Baby's number. I have Bayrat's number. So when I get in the ring with them this month, I want to prove what everyone else already knows, and apparently what you 3 know as well, that 7 is the best team going today, and we're going to walk out all the gold, Scramble Championship, and the Tag Team Championships around 7's waist. Simple as that.
Well, we have no reason not to believe you.
You heard it here first, friends. And who's pushing buttons? Is that you?
I put it up.
All right, I'll touch it again. Touch the tip again. We'll figure this out. Dustin says, I'll read it. You put it up. Dustin says it's always nice to see Reed make an appearance on the show. Good luck on Friday, Reed.
It's okay. Reed will walk out number 1 contender to the LPW Grand Championship. I also believe that.
Oh, there you go. Bold prediction.
I'm liking that prediction. I like that one.
It's facts. I think he's going to beat Larry if he's still champion, that is. I assume you guys have that prediction coming up next.
Yes.
I think that's next up, is it not?
It is next
Yeah,
up.
it is.
You know what? Screw their ads. MRB. Let's go with that. That's my prediction. I'll leave you with that, boys.
Okay.
All right. I mean,
That's it. That's all you got. Well, you can stick around if you want. We can talk about it right now. We're going to do it right now. Watch.
You know what? Let's talk about it.
Watch. The LPW Grand Championship, the last match of the card, the main event. We've got Lumberjack Larry Woods taking on Michael Richard Blaze. He called his shot at LPW 20. He told Spencer Love, listen up, I'm this in the business. I tapped out Speedball. I've beat X, Y, and Z. Give me the shot. And of course, Spencer, no doubt about it, gave him the shot. Larry Woods with an emotional, crazy victory, which you, Mars, tried to prevent unsuccessfully, mind you. All right, you said MRB. Boris, Blair, what are we thinking here?
I talked earlier about, Blair, about momentum and how important momentum is. And both of these guys are coming off, Larry, the biggest win of his career, and MRB definitely one of the biggest wins of his career as well, tapping out Speedball. Larry becoming the LPW Grand Champion. Recently, MRB, he did have that slide where he lost gold and opportunities for gold 2 matches in a row earlier this year. He obviously can be beaten and can, sometimes maybe get in his head and go on those losing streaks. Larry, I think that he is still on that high. I think that he has not come down from that feeling of becoming champion. He knows how hard it is to keep a title after you win it. He has held championships before. And I think that high, that momentum, and that run that he is on is going to carry him through this one.
You mentioned the victory for Larry, and it was massive. I mean, the string of events leading up to it, the run he had, but to be able to pull off that victory. But when you look at his first challenge being Michael Richard Blaze, I mean, talk about stepping foot from out of the frying pan and into the fire. I mean, what a massive defense. He is going to have his hands full, and this is going to be a tough road for Larry Woods, let me tell you.
Pluggo?
Well, I was gonna. I'm still trying to figure out the step for the frying pan into the fire. That line is pretty good. I was trying to think about how that works.
You've never heard that before?
No, I've never heard that one before.
Really?
I don't hear everything.
That's an old adage.
But yeah, I think this is Larry's never been here before. MRB has been here before. Clearly, this is a newly focused MRB. He's very laser focused on getting back to the top because he was the first ever Grand Champion. And you got Larry Woods. I don't know how much Larry Woods has been partying this month, but I have imagined it's a lot. Now, my biggest question is, Mars, are you guys going to get involved in this? You don't like the Clandestine Society either.
No, if it was up to me, they would both lose. That's what I would normally choose. But you know what? As of right now, we have no business with this. I don't need them to win. They can deal with themselves, and when we'll deal with them after the fact.
Did he wink? I'm trying to get the scoops. But this should be good. Larry Woods, I mean, he had the building eating out of the palm of his hand during that match at LPW 20. They clearly are behind him. But again, they're also clearly behind MRB too. Like I said, they're a fan favorite. Clandestine Society is always a fan favorite within the building. This is going to be interesting. I'm super intrigued on what happens here. I don't know. I don't know how to play. I don't know how to play it. This is a tough challenge for your first defense. There is no, like you said, stepping out of the pan into the fire.
I bring up the case of Son of Irish. Son of Irish went on in the early times of LPW, went on a lengthy losing streak. And once he got that monkey off his back and he got that big win and he won that title, that momentum carried him through, and he won a lot of matches over a lot of talent. And I think that's the same kind of mindset that Larry's in right now. MRB, tough as nails, everybody knows that. But the high of winning a championship and being at the top of the mountain, I think that is an intoxicating high that can carry you far.
The Larry Woods MRB poll is up in the comments, so vote now who you think is going to win. We have 57% think Killer Kelly is going to beat TFA. I think you're all wrong. As much as we enjoy Killer Kelly, I never pick against my girl TFA. Sorry.
I mean, when you look at the string of events that Larry had leading up to his match with Zoe, before he was victorious, I'm hoping that he's able to channel everything he took from that match with Zoe and continue on this ascension. But he's in tough because MRB is going to be bringing the heat.
Now, how did you feel, Mars, getting involved in that match, and ultimately it didn't work out the way you wanted? You had crushed the Rad Spirits earlier in the night by eliminating Ben Omen, and then you were going to try to just put the nail in the coffin and keep the Grand Championship out of the reach. But at the end of the day, the Rads are the Grand Champion.
Mistakes happen, right? If it weren't for the Clandestine Society, Larry would not be champion today. In my head, maybe that's a tactical decision. Remember, maybe MRB knows that he can beat Larry more than he can beat Zoe. We don't know. Zoe's beat him before.
Yeah.
So maybe that's a tactical decision by him. But if it weren't for the Clandestine Society, Zoe would still be champion. That's just a fact that we know right now. Because if it was up to us, the Rads would not have gold. Nothing.
Yeah. So did you just kind of insinuate that maybe MRB made this happen because he knows he can beat Larry Woods? Did you just say that?
I'm not trying to stir the pot or anything.
Are you throwing some shade here?
Hey, I just work here. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to give my, I'm a journalist right now. I'm trying to give my journalist opinion. I'm currently Mars a journalist, guys. Don't.
That's a new T-shirt, Mars the journalist. There's some money there.
Change his handle, Mars the journalist.
Get one of those old-timey journalist hats and walk around with the pencil and a notebook.
Little press pass or press in the hat.
Hey, I'm just making sure. Well, there it is. Conspiracy. Looks like Sami Zayn during the conspiracy theory run.
Mars mentioned
my Halloween costumes here.
Mars mentioned earlier that he's very smart and sees everything, and I know that he's trying to stir up some what, but I understand. I get it.
Maybe jockeying. Maybe he's thinking MRB beats Larry Woods. I plant the seed on 4 exposure. I'm going to get the shot.
Well, I was about to say, how much interest does 7 have with this matchup that's for the championship?
Well, Jack and Larry, they obviously have their history years prior. So, and let's just be honest, we don't want the Rats to have the championship. We want Clandestine to have the championship. We want ourselves to have the championship. So it doesn't really matter to us who wins because it's going to come to us eventually.
Okay.
So I would expect that there's going to be 8 little eyes poking out from the curtain during that match. 2 of them belonging to you, and the other 6 belonging to your cohorts. Okay, all right.
I mean, well, if that has 4 eyes, so
Fair. That's fair.
I'm
And then
envisioning
does Jack Pride count as one set, or does Jack have a set, Pride have a set?
it's when the brain switches, the eyes switch. So it's still like 2 eyes. It's just sometimes it's Jack's eyes. Sometimes
Got it.
I'm envisioning in like a cartoon where like the head pops through a curtain and then another one right above, and it's just 4 heads.
Hi, Mrs. Pluggo.
I'll say
my life.
this: we've seen Jack Pride successfully defend that title month after month. Jack Pride has a set.
Mrs. Pluggo, if
That's a
you're
good line,
watching,
you know.
it is a great line. Mrs. Pluggo, if you're watching, you're the love of my life. Hit that like button so we can get close to our like.
Breaststroke. Mars, can you say breaststroke, please? Just say it once.
We are
Thank you.
3 likes away from our goal. We're at the end of the program. I want us
I'll
to
explain
get
later.
there. I think that's a perfect way to wrap up your LPW 21, the Chain Wrestling preview.
Yes.
So we can let everybody do what they do best. Boris, you do it better than anybody in the business. Tell everybody about this event and where they can find it and how they can find it and where they can be and all that fun stuff.
All right, this is your final chance to catch Love Pro Wrestling for the year of 2023. If you are in the Northern Alberta, Edmonton area, I believe there's still a handful of tickets. I heard we're under 50 tickets left, and that was a few days ago, so I'm sure we're cruising towards another sellout. Go to loveofwrestling.com and get your tickets We'll be at the Rec Room, South Edmonton Commons, 7 o'clock Mountain Time, 9 p.m. Eastern. If you could not be there in person, of course, shows are always live and free on Twitch, 7 p.m. Eastern, or sorry, swear words,
9 p.m.
9 p.m. Eastern Time. I am thrilled to be behind the microphone again to call all the action of the show. It's going to be our last show of the year, and we are ending with a giant bang. Again, if you're a local in the area on Thursday night, you can come down to Rec Room, $10 for the LPW/clandestine prequel shows. We will crown the first ever champion of Salvation. Those matches will be available on the Patreon, I believe, a week after. We're going to finish the year off strong. I think some can I curse now? Am I allowed, or am I going to get in trouble?
So.
You can do whatever you want.
Go for it.
Some shit's going to go down. This is going to be a night to remember.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
I can't sell any better than that, boys.
Yeah, baby. Mars, our guest,
sell
our surprise guest. Thank you for joining us. Why don't you tell all the fine people in the chat where they can find you and what you've got going on?
You can find me at Mars Specialist on Twitter and at Instagram. You can look for some funny videos. If you want the Short Kings on YouTube, that's some good stuff too. Come to the Rec Room, watch me win some tag titles. Go on Twitch stream, watch me win some tag titles.
You
want to see that happen, and just come.
Yeah,
just to show up. Yeah. All right. Then I always forget. Do you go? Then I go. Do I go? Then you go.
I'll go. You go, and then I can do the outro.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
Okay.
we got a killer outro now.
We do. So
see how the sausage is made.
Yeah. So for myself, you can find me up on all social media at Graymaker Wrestling Podcast. Most recent episode with Boris, so check that out. I would also like to say go watch the Short Kings video so you can see me wearing a Jared Rogers crop top. It is fantastic, and it is incredible. Yeah.
What?
Oh, you don't watch the content?
Wow.
Haven't watched it yet. That's the keyword, is yet. I work retail, Mars. It's a busy time of year.
It's been out for a month. Come on. Oh, stop it. It's a great video.
It's a great video. No, okay.
Oh. So definitely check out that.
One more like, if we can get it. Can we get it? One more. We need somebody to like this video so that Spencer doesn't fire us.
Oh, God. We're going to get fired. So, Pluggo, where can they find you? What do you got going on?
Do I do it slowly? Okay. Big news. For the first time in Between Two Beards history, Thursday morning, 10 a.m., we are going to go live. It's Thursday. It's Thanksgiving in the States. We usually pre-record and then put it out at our normal 8 o'clock time slot, but we had so much going on this week with Full Gear, Survivor Series preview, and we had a special guest hit us up. Ella J wanted to join the fun, so we figured, what the hell? Why record this? And because StreamYard only lets us go an hour, we're going to go for about an hour and a half, maybe two. Thursday morning while you're getting ready for your Thanksgiving dinners, you're prepping in the kitchen, come hang out with the Beards for the first time ever live on Thanksgiving. It's going to be a good time. Then I got to figure it out, but I'm back with Blair next weekend at some point if the shoot job allows me to do so. And then that's where you can find me. And then I will be writing my LPW 21 written preview that'll go up on at lovewrestling.ca. That'll be out this week as well.
Good job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And but I guess you can follow me at Pluggo on all social medias. Look for this face, you'll find it, and at B2 Beards for the Between Two Beards page. We hit 15 likes, everybody. We did it. Thank you. That's awesome.
That last breaststroke that did it. Thank you.
Cash is in the house saying I can't have Boris fired. He's my meal ticket. Perfect. Whatever it takes. The reason that we appreciate that before we actually let Blair do the outro is because it does. It helps the algorithm. It helps the page grow. It gets more eyes on the prize. And we appreciate everybody hanging out on a Sunday evening talking LPW 21. So, Blair, do your thing.
Well, we are going to wrap this up. You can go watch the Canadian Super Bowl, go see Canadian rock band Green Day perform.
And follow our Twitter as well.
Follow our Twitter at For Exposure, which we never plug. But for Boris and Mars, thank you so much for joining us. Mars, good luck. Get that gold this week. Very excited for you. For my good friend Pluggo and myself, thank you very much for joining us. You have been consensually exposed. Just looking for the video. Peace in the streets.